another third chapter in your IP textbook. So that is called botany and science. So science of botany. So botany is also developing as a science. So in this lesson, so there are three important topics. So first one is the development. So first one development of the botany, and the second one second one plants and their benefits. ఈ డెవలప్మెంట్లో అన్నీ కూడా ఎవరు వస్తారు అంటే సైంటిస్ట్. సో డిఫరెంట్ టైప్స్ ఆఫ్ సైంటిస్ట్, దేర్ డిస్కవరీ. ఓకే, మోస్ట్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఫర్ ఎంసెట్ అండ్ NEET. One of that bit is asking in the examination. For our IP purpose, from this chapter, only one of the 2 marks question is appear in this one. So that is the development. Next, plants and their uses. And the third one is the branches of the botany. So a lot of branches are present within the botany. You can go to that one by one. So first one is the development. How that botany is derived. So you know that one, the study of living organisms is called biology. Bios means life. Logos means disclose. Disclose means discovery or analyze. Okay, so in this one, biology, the study of living organisms is called biology. In this one, bios means life. Ology means disclosure. Nothing but discussion, nothing but analysis of the biology. For our convenient purpose, in this biology, living organisms, animals and plants. The study of animals you know very well, that is zoology. The study of the plants is called botany. So how that word botany is derived? It is derived from Greek language. That word of the botany is derived from in which language? Greek language. In that Greek language, one of that word is called bous. Bous means cattle. So bowskin means cattle feed. Cattle feed. So who is that cattle feed? Grass. Grass is nothing but plants. So that study of the plants, botany. Okay na? So that word is derived from so bous and a Greek letter. So bous and bous means cattle. Bowskin means cattle feed. Who is that cattle feed? Grasses. So that is nowadays, that is then after, that bowskin is then after modified into botany. That is modified into botany. Afterwards, that is nowadays called botany. In our Telugu, Vriksha Shastramu. Okay, so in this one you can see the first time development. So that whatever it may be, that science is developed during that 20th century. So we are in the golden age of the biology. So ఎక్కువ బయాలజీ ఎప్పుడు డెవలప్ అయింది అంటే 20th centuryలోనే ఎక్కువ డెవలప్ అవడం జరిగింది. సో దట్స్ వై ఇట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ గోల్డెన్ ఏజ్ ఆఫ్ ద బయాలజీ. సో డెవలప్మెంట్, యూ కెన్ సీ ద డిఫరెంట్ టైప్స్ ఆఫ్ సైంటిస్ట్స్ who are worked within the development of the botany. So first of all, you can see that knowledge is developing in 4000 BC. So that Egyptians and Assyrians, they were first identify the cultivated plants, those fruit yielding plants. Those can be in the form of pictures on the rocks. That condition is called hieroglyphics. That condition is said to be hieroglyphics. So Assyrians and so hieroglyphics means hieroglyphics and those Assyrians and Egyptians, they can be draw the pictures of the fruit yielding and crop yielding plants on the rocks. Those pictures are called hieroglyphics. And 2500 BC, so Chinese are discovered first time cultivated plants. After onwards, in our country, 1300 BC, one of that scientist, his name is called Parashara. So in our Telugu, Parasharadu. So he was considered as a father of botany in India. He was considered as a father of botany in India. So he was wrote that two important books. One book is called Krishi Parasharam. First book is known as Krishi Parasharam. And another book is called Vriksha Ayurveda. Another book is called Vriksha Ayurveda. So Krishi Parasara is the oldest book in agriculture. And also in this book there were information about agriculture plants and also information about the weed plants. There is another book. That another book is called Vriksha Ayurveda. So that book is also related to the purely medicinal plants. So medicinal plants and also external and internal characters of the plants or everything is present in that book. That book is called Vriksha Ayurveda. Okay. And also you know that one our Vedas, 4 Vedas are present. And one of that Veda that is called Atharvana Veda. So there is a information about the medicinal plants. ఈ మెడిసినల్ ప్లాంట్స్ గురించి ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ కూడా ఏ బుక్లో ఉంది అంటే అథర్వణ వేద. ఓకేనా? సో ఇది ఇంట్రడక్షన్. అయితే వెన్ వీఆర్ అబ్జర్వింగ్ దట్ యు నో దట్ వన్ ఫాదర్ ఆఫ్ బయాలజీ, ఫాదర్ ఆఫ్ బోటనీ, ఫస్ట్ ఫాదర్ ఆఫ్ బయాలజీ అరిస్టాటిల్. సో అరిస్టాటిల్ was considered as a father of biology. He was also considered as a father of zoology. He was the first person to classify the plants in a scientific manner. Plants, animals, herbs, shrubs, animals with RBC, without RBC. ఒక సైంటిఫిక్ మేనర్లో డిస్క్రైబ్ చేసింది ఎవరు అంటే అరిస్టాటిల్. హిస్ డిసిపుల్ సోక్రటీస్. సోక్రటీస్ డిసిపుల్ థియోఫ్రాస్టస్. థియోఫ్రాస్టస్ వాజ్ కన్సిడర్డ్ యాజ్ ఏ father of botany. So he wrote that one of the book. That book is called Historia Plantarum. What is that book name? Historia Plantarum. So that book is describes the 500 types of the new plants, their external and internal characters. Okay, when we are goes to the 16th and 17th century, the technical description of the plants is carried out in that century, 16th and 17th century. That century is simply said to be age of herbalists. Age of herbalists. So those scientists who are working on the plants, those scientists are called herbalists. They were wrote that some of that books, those books are said to be herbals. బుక్స్ అయితే ఏమంటాం? హెర్బల్స్ అంటాం. వాళ్ళు చెప్పిన ఏది సైంటిస్ట్ నేమ్స్ హెర్బలిస్ట్. సో ద టెక్నికల్ డిస్క్రిప్షన్ ఆఫ్ ద ప్లాంట్స్ అండ్ మెడిసినల్ ప్లాంట్స్ ఆర్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఇన్ ద స్పెషల్ బుక్స్. దోస్ బుక్స్ ఆర్ కాల్డ్ herbals. And also in that same century, Gaspard Bohin was the first person. He was also introduced the binomial, the word binomial, and also explained the 6,000 plants. He was explained that 6,000 plants. After onwards, next in that same century, Robert Hooke, he was considered as a father of cell biology. He was the first person to discover that cell and also discovered the cell wall. I think he was discovered that non-living cell from to the cork tissue of the oak tree. I think he was non-living tissue, non-living cells. But he was considered as a father of cell biology. He wrote that one of the book. That book is called Micrographia. And రాసిన బుక్ పేరేంటి? మైక్రోగ్రాఫియా. అయితే దట్ క్రెడిట్ goes to the discovery of the living cells by Antony van Leeuwenhoek. That credit goes to the discovery of the living cells by Anthony van Leeuwenhoek. He was discovered the living cell, bacteria. He was discovered the bacteria, protozoans and RBC. He was considered as a father of microbiology according to your first year or second year book. Father of microbiology, Anthony van Leeuwenhoek. He was discovered that living cells. ఇంకా నెక్స్ట్ సైంటిస్ట్ చూసుకున్నాం అనుకోండి. సో మార్సెల్లో మాల్ఫిజీ, నెహెమియా గ్రూ. సో those were Marcello Malpighi, Nehemiah Grew. Those are considered as a founders of anatomy. వాళ్ళని ఏమని చెబుతాం? ఫౌండర్స్ ఆఫ్ ద ఎనాటమీ. ఇంకా నెక్స్ట్ సో Camerarius, another scientist. Camerarius, he was first time discovered that sexual reproduction in plants. సో ప్లాంట్స్లో ఫస్ట్ టైం సెక్షువల్ రిప్రొడక్షన్ చెప్పింది ఎవరంటే Camerarius. ఓకేనా? నెక్స్ట్ కమ్ టు ద 18th century. ఈ 18th centuryకి వస్తే ఫస్ట్ యూ నో దట్ వన్ సైంటిస్ట్ నేమ్ Carolus van Linnaeus. Carolus van Linnaeus, he was considered as a father of taxonomy. He was considered as father of taxonomy. He was also coined the term systematic arrangement of the plants. He was also coined the term systematics and systematic arrangement of the plants by our scientist name Linnaeus. He was also father of taxonomy. He was popularized the binomial nomenclature. So binomial nomenclature was introduced by Gaspard Bahin, but binomial was popularized by ఎవరి పేరు చెప్పాలి అంటే Linnaeus. He was also proposed that sexual system of classification. That sexual system of classification was also proposed by Linnaeus. It is based on the floral characters. It is based on the floral characters. And also he was wrote the two books. One book is related to the animals, that is called Systema Naturae, and another book is related to the plants, that is Species Plantarum. He was also coined that term systematics. ఇంకా 18th centuryలో చూసామనుకోండి. సో ఇన్ దట్ 18th century, సో physiology means the study of the various functions of the plant body. So physiologyలో one of that scientist Stephen Hales, he was considered as a father of physiology. He was considered as a father of plant physiology. He was concluded that water conduction takes place through the xylem. It is a non-living complex tissue, and also explained that root pressure is useful to the translocation or conduction of the water and minerals within the xylem vessels. Okay, so that is also Stephen Hales. Next another scientist, మీకు సెకండ్ ఇయర్ కూడా వస్తుంది. He was called Joseph Priestley. He was the first person to discovery of the oxygen. Plants are releasing the oxygen by using the CO2. And plants absorbing the foul gas and CO2 and releasing that so oxygen and releasing the good gas, that is called oxygen. It is also said to be Joseph Priestley. Next another 18, you can go to the 19th century. In that 19th century, you know that one genetics and the study of the inheritance, genes, variation, that is called genetics. That genetics was founder of the genetics or father of the genetics evaru ante Gregor Johann Mendel. So Johann Mendel was considered as a father of genetics. So father of genetics evarante Mendel. He Mendel first time he was conducted hybridization experiments on a pea plant. He was conducted hybridization experiment on the pea plant, Pisum sativum. He was proposed the laws of inheritance. He was conducted hybridization experiments on pea plant అంటే Pisum sativum, తెలుగులో బఠానీలు. and also proposed that laws of inheritance. Hence, he was considered as father of genetics. Next, in that 19th century, also another scientist, founder of ecology by Haeckel, founder of ecology or Haeckel. Next, taxonomy law, Bentham and Oakes, Endlicher, are everything ones are present within that 19th century. And also Edward Buchner, he was discovered that he was discovered the enzyme GMase from yeast cells. All things are happened during the 19th century. When we are going to the 20th century, in that century, first of all, those sudden heritable changes that occurs into the organisms, those are called mutations. Those mutations was first discovered by one of the scientists called Hugo de Vries. One of the scientists, Hugo de Vries. Next, so Sutton and Boveri, they were proposed the chromosomal theory of inheritance. Chromosomal theory was first proposed by Sutton and Boveri. According to chromosome theory, the chromosomes are the physical basis of the heredity. Means that chromosomes containing genes. Those genes are transmit the genetic characters from parents to offsprings. That's why Sutton and Boveri proposed that chromosomal theory. And also in viruses, TMA, tobacco mosaic virus, the main important genetic material, RNA, was said to be by one of the scientists called Frankel Conrad. And also another scientist, Aragovind Khurana, he was the first person to construction of the artificial gene or genetic code. So genes are artificially synthesized within the laboratory by one of the scientists. His name called Aragovind Khurana. He was a Indian-born scientist, Indian-born American scientist. He was also got that Nobel Prize in 1968 to discovery of the artificial gene or genetic code. So laboratory synthesis of the genetic code. Okay. Inka in 20th century also, so oxygen was discovered by F.W. Went. So and also in respiration, Krebs cycle, 10th class lo chadivi Krebs cycle, and also photosynthesis in Calvin cycle, light reaction, Hill's reaction, or everything are also in 20th century. Urease enzyme discovered by J.B. Sumner, and also DNA structure, the double helix model of the DNA are also proposed by in 20th century. Ivanni kuda. So all ones are the development of the biology. Next, you can go to the scope of the botany. Only that some of the plants, their benefits. Some of the plants, their benefits should also ఉంటుంది దీనిలో. So చూసుకుంటే some most important topics in that one. First of all, economic importance. One minute. So economic importance of the plants. So you can see the list of plants. Those are medicinal plants. So some of that medicinal plants are there. Arnica, Cinchona, Neem, Datura, Digitalis, Rauwolfia, so Vidania, holy basil means tulasi. Next, belladonna, asimum ante tulasi, aloe vera. So all are the medicinal plants. Some of that antibiotics also obtained from to the plants and another organisms. You know that one penicillin is an antibiotic that obtained from to the Penicillium notatum. And also some of the biocontrol agents, BT, Bacillus thuringiensis, that is act as a biocontrol agent. And Spirulina chlorella, 2020 NEET bit. These are the unicellular algae. Spirulina, another one is chlorella. Both are the unicellular algae. Unicellular algae 2020 NEET bit. So 2020 NEET lo vachindamma. These are the unicellular algae. Those are mainly used as a SCP. SCP means single cell proteins, and also these are act as a food for astronauts. Those are act as a food for astronauts. And that coke, coal, petroleum are everything are the products of the plants. Next, some of that petro plants, and they producing the biodiesel. There are two important petro plants are present. Those two important petro plants are, what are those? One is called Jethrofa, Telugu name Adavi Amudam, and also another one Pongamia. So that Pongamia is one of the, so that Pongamia is also Ganuga. So Pongamia is also a Ganuga. So those are used as. Some of that blue-green algae like Nostoc, Anabina, Acylatoria, those are also act as a, those are able to fix the atmospheric nitrogen. Hence those are act as a bio-fertilizers. BT, Bacillus thuringiensis, nowadays BT cotton, BT brinjal. So different types of BT varieties are available. That BT means Bacillus thuringiensis, that is act as a biocontrol agent. All are the scope of the biology. And there is a last small topic is present, that is the branches of the botany. Those are there in entire first year and second year lessons. So first of all, the study of the external structures of the plant body is called morphology. In that morphology, there are two important one. One is called external morphology, and another one is the internal morphology. So external morphology means the study of the external structures of the plant body like root, stem, leaf, flower, fruit, etc. That is simply called external morphology. The study of the internal structures of the plant body, that is simply says that internal morphology. In that internal morphology, there are two important ones are there. One is called histology and another one is the anatomy. Histology and anatomy. So histology means the study of various types of tissues which are present within the organisms. Those are simply called histology. And another one is the anatomy. Anatomy means the study of internal structures. The study of the internal structures of the plant body is also called anatomy. The study of internal structures of the plant body is called anatomy. Next, when we are observing that cell, so the study of the cell, so cell containing nucleus or everything, so that is simply called cytology or also called cell biology. సో ఓల్డ్ డేస్లో సైటాలజీ అనేవాళ్ళం, ఇప్పుడు ఏమంటాం సెల్ బయాలజీ. అంటే ద స్టడీ ఆఫ్ ద సెల్, సెల్ స్ట్రక్చర్, దేర్ సెల్ ఆర్గనెల్స్, దేర్ కాంపోనెంట్స్ అండ్ డీటెయిల్డ్ స్టడీ ఆఫ్ ద detailed study of the cell structure and everything is called cell biology. So then after embryology. So simple ga embryology ante manachu the study of embryo is simply called embryology. Kani in that embryology the study of male and female reproductive organs, their development, male gametophyte, female gametophyte, formation of the male gametes, female gametes, process of the fertilization, zygote, embryo, seed, fruit are everything studied under the embryology. This embryology vaste only another one is there, that is called palynology. That is the palynology. Palynology means the study of pollen grains. The study of the pollen grains is called palynology. ఎందుకంటే pollen grains are used as a fossils. pollen grains are used as fossils. That's why the study of pollen grains is called palynology. After onwards, you know that when taxonomy, it is also called systematic botany. It is also called systematic botany. And the systematic arrangement of the plants, identification, nomenclature and classification of the various types of plants, 8th chapter in your textbook. So that is simply called taxonomy. Father of taxonomy, everyone. So Carolus von Linnaeus. So that is the taxonomy. Next, embryology, physiology, taxonomy. Next one is the ecology. Next one is ecology. Ecology and you know that one surrounding nature is called environment. So organisms interact with environment. The interaction between plants and animals, interaction among the organisms and their surrounding environment. You know that when Ernest Haeckel was considered as a father of or considered as a founder of ecology. So the interaction between organisms and their surrounding environment is called ecology. It is 13th chapter in your IP first year textbook. And also plant physiology, the study of the various functions of the plant body is called plant physiology. What are the functions? Absorption of water, transportation of the water, transpiration, photosynthesis, respiration, or everything. So the study of various functions, those are also called metabolic activities. Those are also said to be biochemical reactions which are expressed within an organisms or especially in plants. That is called plant physiology. So plant physiology. Next, genetics. The study of the genes, chromosomes ఉంటాయి కదా, న్యూక్లియస్లో chromosomes పైన genes, the study of genes, inheritance, variations, or everything is studied under the group that is called genetics. So inheritance and the transfer of the genetic characters from parents to offsprings or children, that is called inheritance or hereditary characters. And also variations, unlike that twins. So any two children of the same parent are not similar. Those dissimilar characters are present in their two children of the same parent are called variations. So the study of inheritance, variations, genes, or everything is studied under the genetics. So genetics is father of genetics, Gregor Johann Mendel. And also you can say another one is phytogeography. The distribution of the various plants in entire world is called phytogeography. Ade animals anko zoogeography, plants anko phytogeography. Okay, entire earth చదవడాన్ని geography అంటాం. నెక్స్ట్ దీంతో పాటుగా paleobotany. So first of all, you know the study of fossils is called paleontology. The study of fossils ఏమని చెబుదాం, paleontology. So దానిలో చూస్తే స్టడీ ఆఫ్ ద ప్లాంట్ ఫాసిల్స్ paleobotany, study of animal fossils paleozoology. First of all, you know the meaning of fossil. It is a extinct or the waste debris of the plants and animals, their bones, their skulls or everything present in the earth crust. Those are called fossils. The study of fossils is called paleontology. దీనిలో paleobotany అంటే స్టడీ ఆఫ్ ద ప్లాంట్ ఫాసిల్స్ ఇస్ కాల్డ్ paleobotany. ఇక్కడ pollen grains హెల్ప్ చేస్తాయమ్మా. అండ్ ఆల్సో paleozoology, ద స్టడీ ఆఫ్ యానిమల్ ఫాసిల్స్ ఇన్ ద ఫార్మ్ ఆఫ్ ఏది బోన్స్ ఉంటాయి కదా, స్కల్స్, ఇవన్నీ. సో దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ paleobotany. నెక్స్ట్ pathology, plant pathology. Plant pathology. So pathogen means disease causing organism. The study of the pathogens pathology. ఇలా చెప్పొచ్చు. అంటే the study of various types of diseases in plants is called plant pathology. Pathogen means disease causing organism, either virus or bacteria or fungus or protozoan or anyone that is cause the disease, that is called pathogen. అయితే ప్లాంట్ ప్యాథాలజీలో ఏం చదవాలి అంటే ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ ద కాజల్ ఆర్గానిజం, then after their disease characters are called symptoms, and also finally it should be studied preventive and controlling measures. ఊరికి ప్యాథోజన్ ఏం తెలుసుకుంటే ప్రయోజనం లేదు. ప్రివెంటివ్ అండ్ కంట్రోలింగ్ మెజర్స్. nowadays scientists much more work on the coronavirus, so they were developed that vaccine in pathology, human pathology, that is the medicine. So these are also different types of branches. So in botany, and also in some of that branches are there in plant kingdom. In plant kingdom there are non-flowering plants, flowering plants. Non-flowering plants are called cryptogams. Flowering plants are called phanerogams. Cryptogams lo chuste Thallophyta, Bryophyta, Pteridophyta. So Thallophyta lo chuste algae and fungi. So the study of algae is called phycology. These are the green color autotrophic aquatic organisms. These aquatic thallophytes are called algae. The study of algae is called phycology. Then after that one already completed in previously, that is called study of fungus, is called mycology. The study of fungus is called mycology. Okay, మరి algae and fungi both are combined live as a lichens. The study of lichens is called lichenology. మరి దీంతో పాటు on that old walls during the rainy season, small green moss plants are present. Those are simply called bryophytes. The study of bryophytes is called bryology. These are the first organisms on the land. They live in both water and land media. Hence these are called amphibians of the plant kingdom. Those are the bryophytes. The study of bryophytes is called bryology. Next one is the pteridophytes. The study of pteridophytes is called pteridology. The study of pteridophytes is said to be ఏమని పేరు పెట్టేద్దాం, pteridology. Okay, so these pteridophytes are the first vascular plants. అంటే that vascular system like xylem and phloem, those are first appear in which group of plants అంటే pteridophytes. అందుకే these are called vascular cryptogams. Those are said to be vascular cryptogams. Those are simply called pteridology. So phycology, algae; mycology, fungus; lichenology, lichens; bryology, bryophytes; pteridology, pteridophytes. These are also different types of branches of the botany. So this is the smallest chapter will completed. So in your IP examination, one of the 2 marks question is appear in final exam, and also in NEET and MSET compulsory one of the representation questions every year. One of the NEET bit scientist name and discovery, or maybe plant name and their uses. Different types of questions are also asking in this chapter. Okay, thank you very much.